everybody. Welcome back to the NICC eSports broadcast. This is Mr. Antenna, and today we are unfortunately missing our co-caster Tis the Seas for some Marvel Rivals. NICC showing us the C comp to show us right on ahead with, we're seeing a majority bans on Gambit, shared bans on Gambit, a save on Elsa Bloodstone, a ban on Invisiwoman, a ban on Moon Knight, a ban on Adam Warlock, a ban on Punisher, a ban on Magneto, and a ban on Hela. I think this is going to be a fantastic game. I am truly looking forward to seeing how it will play out. Appears like NICC is going to go for a more aggressive team composition for the first game on Midtown. Probably going to try and get out of that spawn doors area, which is a very nice holding point.
30 seconds before you attack.
WSUTech is not actually going to run a penny into this team, but instead is going to run Magneto, Strange. Oh, and I'm happy to see more Wolverine gameplay.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And here we go. First interactions are going to go out from NICC and from WSU here. NICC is going to try and pick up people and grab them, and so is WSUTech. Both teams are going to look for the first pick and the first grab. And NICC actually takes control of the point almost immediately, which is very nice. 4 is going to miss that second grab, and Tebby is going to get some blocking up. Looks like Mr.Wario is actually going to get picked off here, and Tebby is looking low. NICC going to lose both tanks and be sent right on back to the spawn doors. Looks like NICC is going to have a small take-a-look-see here at the spawn while they wait for Tebby to come back. And NICC is right on back into the action. ZonedoutPiggy actually already has ult right in this. And it looks like Mr.Wario is once again going to get grabbed here. And it is going to be 3 ultimates from WSUTech for the 1 NICC had to pop. 4 ults, my bad, from WSUTech. And NICC is sent right on back to the spawn doors. NICC, I'm sure they can do great this game. All they need to do is get that little bit of speed out of this corridor here. This is a really tough corridor to attack here, and especially to get out of. I think that this is like one of the most like pointed choke points I can think of in any map. It looks like NICC is immediately going to get grabbed, and so is WSUTech. WSUTech actually losing 2 teammates, and a 4... Ooh. And it looks like it's just the support sent right on back. NICC is going to be able to make it right on out of that spawn area. And it looks like Mr.Wario is going to be sent all the way back from that knockback. Mr.Wario has access to the Thor ultimate here. WSUTech is actually going to go in. I see the Wolverine ult here. And it looks like WSUTech is going to pop ultimate from Strange, and Blibblob is actually also going to pop ult too. Mr.Wario has ult, and Zora does too, but NICC is just going to get cleared here by WSUTech. Blibblob is going to switch to Raccoon, some damage out. And it appears like NICC is going to take a look at their team composition right now. And it looks like we're just going to roll out with the same comp. Hey, if it works, don't fix it. Or if it's not broken, don't try and fix it, right?
Only 60 seconds left.
NICC is going to get forced into a really awkward spot here, trying to force in, and Tebby does get grabbed. NICC might not have a choice here, but to WSUTech has 4 ultimates once again, and NICC has been holding on to the same 4 ultimates for the past 2 team fights. NICC is just not seeing the times for these ultimates yet. And it looks like Wolverine is going to be caught on the top shelf here. And he isn't going to manage to reach his back to his team and almost gets picked off, but saved by the passive. Heavy is actually also going to pop ult, which gets WSUTech to pop ult. And it looks like Jeff NATO is just going to go out right now, here in a second. ZonedoutPiggy is also going to pop ult. There is Jeff NATO, and it looks like we're going to see Phoenix go in too. NICC is going to try and stand on this final objective, and NICC gets cleaned off the point for the first match of the round. Not able to get the portal out in enough time. Now let's see if NICC can hold this same corridor here.
Including which side you're on. You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
You know that Wolverine was kind of a really big deal this game, so I'm sure we'll probably see that in the bans for the next game. Just get it out of the way. You know, NICC is really just talking beforehand about the team comps and being better about not trying to go after kills. And it appears like NICC is going to try and run, once again, a more aggressive team, or more defensive team comp this time around. Mr.Wario opting for Penny, and the Garut here is also going to be sent in. So NICC is just going to go with as many other things to shoot than people as possible.
Get ready.
And it looks like Zora and Friendship Fan are going to be left on the offensive for damage here. You know, Elsa's been doing pretty good right now, I think. She does a lot of damage, but doesn't have the ability to finish out stuff. And I think Phoenix also does a great job at finishing out kills here. So this could be a pretty good combination if he also lifts people into the air for NICC to just clean out. NICC is going to make sure nobody is leaving this door. And it appears like Hulk is going to pop out right before the game to not give NICC the chance to swap. And it looks like the Hulk is just going to go in, gets caught, but does not get punished at all for it. And NICC is just going to have to hold the corner. Heavy is actually holding very nicely on this corner, albeit there's a lot of damage going into all of the healers are getting all of their ults. And it looks like the thing is just going to punch Heavy right on back. And it looks like the revive is going to go out to Heavy here. Let's see if NICC can last until the revive is in. And it appears like Storm is going to get ult, and it's going to go straight on into NICC. And that may be the match right here. Yeah, I think both sides did pretty well that game. That was a very short map, and I'm sure NICC is going to have a better showing in the next round here. We will catch you back after a short break. Oh, sorry about that. We also have MVP as ES302. I like this Jeff skin a lot, actually. I think ducks are great. Anyway. at Central Park this time, NICC or WSUTech banned Symbiotic Surface for the map pick. NICC chose Central Park between the two of them. Both sides gonna start with the required Gambit ban, absolutely required, like beyond reasonable doubt, and they save Moon Knight immediately. And it looks like NICC is just gonna have to look for someone to ban here, maybe Squirrel Girl to make up for that if they were planning on banning Moon Knight. Or maybe they just ignore that kind of thing at all now that the Moon Knight's saved. Because I'm absolutely certain that WSUTech is going to ban Moon Knight next. Cloak and Dagger gets banned, that's absolutely fair. WSUTech's Cloak and Dagger was pretty on point that last round. NICC gets to choose a save here, and they're hovering Magneto. I'm not entirely convinced that the Magneto is going to be the thing here, especially against the Moon Knight matchup. I mean, Magneto does do some good tanking, but could become very awkward. If WSUTech does plan on banning Moon Knight, the ban on the Wolverine is, I think, completely fair too. The Wolverine, you know, WSUTech do pretty much the same thing as them with a different character. And it looks like WSU is gonna end up banning the Moon Knight now and NICC bans Phoenix, and it looks like WSUTech is gonna go for the same Storm as before. Maybe they switch out their DPS Wolverine for someone who's better on Central Park like Moon Knight. That's actually, I think, what's happening here. That's a save on Jeff here. And it looks like a ban on Storm here for NICC to face off. Probably in sight of the Jeff here. Now let's see if WSUTech wants to save. Ooh, WSUTech choosing to save the Invis. NICC, I think, planned for this though, so I'm kind of curious to see how this goes. NICC is hovering Mantis right now. And you know what? I think the support bans are absolutely fair here. And the supports right now are insane. It's almost, wait, NICC almost banned all supports. With the exception of Phoenix. NICC did show a Venom for a second here, but as NICC is on attack, I don't know what's gonna go on here. Tebby is on Strange, and WSUTech is gonna sub here for a Thor here. This is a great skin for Thor too. And ooh, my favorite trinket actually from Mr.Wario here. So I think this match is going to be a little bit more interesting. Both teams know what the other team's gimmick is going to be. Finger Guns is actually swapping. I think it was Finger Guns who was playing the Wolverine that first round. Swapped to Namor, probably to make up for the longer sight lines. And Boop James is going to go hella into this team fight. Probably gonna notice that NICC is gonna try their best to use a Moon Knight here.
You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
And it looks like the team up is also something they are considering here. Looks like NICC is gonna see the Hella on high ground and is just gonna try and get some damage in. Friendship Fan does manage to accidentally land the Onk on an edge here. Wario is gonna start the move forward. Tebby is actually gonna be a little bit more aggressive than Wario here. Like Wario is gonna try and force back the opposing team with his special ability here, and it looks like NICC is gonna get 2 kills here and force WSU to play around corners. That was one of WSU's tanks, one of their DPS, or 2 of their DPS, and a support. And now WSU is gonna have to regroup, and I don't think that they're gonna try and contest this for NICC. Ratatosker is officially on the move now. It looks like NICC here is going to have that Moon Knight flank to try and get some damage in. WSUTech does have the Jeff ultimate, which may be something they consider using here, just to try and curb some of NICC's stomping. And it appears like the Thor ult is going to get cancelled from WSUTech, and Namor is going to get picked off too. Punisher is going to try and move up here to help out the rest of the team for NICC. Looks like Cheese Curd switches to Angela. You know, scooping people up hasn't been really working that much. It looks like Angela's just going to get immediately shredded. NICC had one bad game against Angela last semester, and they're just not having it again. NICC is only going to get grabbed. One person from NICC is going to get grabbed, and the Jeff is going support for support, so looks like WSUTech is pretty confident that they can make it out of this. And NICC is going to go in. NICC does see the Invis ult, does see the Hell ult, and is still not popping ult for Punisher here. Punisher gets run down, and NICC is left to regroup here. Looks like Cheese Curt's going to grab Friendship Fan, and it looks like WSU is going to do everything in their power to stop the regroup. And it looks like NICC is just going to get run down. The spawn times are going to be pretty long for NICC, almost doubles actually, if they want to fully regroup. Or if NICC decides to take it early, and it's very difficult. Angela is going to miss grabbing Mr.Wario. It was pretty immediate that the Angela is going to keep trying to scoop up people. We know where the Angela is coming from at this point in time. It's just whether or not they can predict when. It looks like the Angela is in now. Looks like the Moon Knight ult actually does go out to save the team, which is pretty huge. And it looks like NICC is going to try and take advantage of this like upper position to try and force back WSU. The Ankh actually does quite a bit of damage there. And it looks like Zora is in with the ult here. Just trying to make as much space as possible here. Cheese Curd's going to be pretty hard to hit. And it looks like the Shark is going to get away with it. That's another Shark ult. And once again grabs the same person, I'm pretty sure. Yep. No, Luna Snow, yes. Wait, yeah, no, different person, different person. Does get picked off, unfortunately, not before the save could happen, but they know. And NICC doesn't actually manage to make the point, which is a little bit wild, being as almost everyone was alive. That one Jeff apparently got that much attraction and attention. NICC does have the Strange, or not Strange, well, it does have Strange ult, but both tanks have ult for NICC here, and it looks like NICC is going to try and make a play off of that. The Invis Woman on WSUTech actually also has ult, and it looks like we might just start seeing some support ults going out. NICC unfortunately going to get faced with from Luna Snow. Then we're going to see Tebby pop ult, and then we're going to see Mr.Wario press the button. Everyone is pressing the button. Mr.Wario does manage to miss, and it looks like we see Swagnito switch to using ult too. And it looks like NICC is just all in on this right now. If NICC backs off, that's 4 ults wasted. Cheese Curt's gonna pop ult. It's gonna make it very hard for NICC to recover. And it looks like Squirrel Stampede's gonna run over NICC before the healing actually makes a difference. And it looks like Friendship Fan is the only ult left back on NICC. WSUTech coming out higher with a 2 ults ready. I mean, one of them is Deadpool, so I don't think that technically counts, but this is an S rank, or an S rating. And it appears that it is the PlayStation player, actually. Or no, the Xbox player. PlayStation player is Swagnito, actually. And it looks like NICC is gonna try and go in. It looks like Friendship Fan picks off 2. And NICC is going to try and push the advantage. Zora's going to pop ult, and it looks like WSUTech's going to back off the point for just a second here. Looks like we're going to get another kill, and that is another ult, Jeff ult. Oh, more ults, more ults. Going to see Mr.Wario pick off the Jeff before he can do significant damage. Book James is going to go in for the Phoenix ult. Doesn't do very much, and NICC is going to hold the point and manage to finish pushing it. And that was a lot of buttons being pressed, but NICC did manage to get it the 3.25 meters it needed to get. And sent WSUTech reeling back to regroup. Mr. Wario doing a good job of not going headfirst into the enemy team spawn. Anyways,
Stop that vehicle!
Enemy in front of us. Good medicine.
Force first. A little help, please. Symbol of life. It's now or never. Stop them.
Magneto's gonna jump in from above and actually managed to get nobody? I don't think anybody actually. Swagnito is going to get forced back. And it looks like Zora is going to get picked off. Mr. Wario is now the only person frontlining. And it looks like they're just going to regroup. Mr. Wario gives up trying to run away as to not separate the spawn times. Absolutely fair and a really good strategy. And Ratatosker is going to keep backing it up right now.
Stop them in their tracks. Only 60 seconds left.
And it looks like Blibblob's going to help Tebby walk in alone. And then Mr. Wario is up finally. There's a lot of damage going out, and it does appear like finger guns. Or not finger guns. Who's on that flank right there? I have no idea who it was. And it looks like Friendship Fan has the ready for another play. And Moon does go down, but all of WSU manages to escape and isn't punished for splitting. NICC's not just not putting out the damage they need right now. Does manage to get a pick, but NICC is down too many people to take advantage. And it looks like Tebby is the only one left on the point. It looks like Tebby's gonna try and stall for as long as possible here. 12 seconds on the clock. NICC just needs to touch the point. It looks like that might go up to Blibblorb here. He's just gonna try and walk in actually and touch. And it looks like Blibblorb is in on the objective and starts the overtime. NICC is gonna try and set up that portal here so that nobody can. So the game goes on even longer. World Stampede's gonna go in too. Mr. Wario does have all. It might pop all here. Mr. Wario's shield goes down and Mr. Wario is picked off. NICC only has 2 people left and they manage to get through the portal but do not touch down on the cart.
The current score is
And WSU manages to stop NICC's roll at 69 meters. Nice.
which side you're on.
WSUTech, I expect to have a pretty solid performance back at NICC's pretty good performance. Both sides did very much better than the last game. And that one round took the entirety of the last game's length, which I'm pretty happy about. I think that there is a lot there that improved from both sides. The finger gun's showing Blade right now. I think that's a pretty interesting pick, especially after what we've been seeing finger guns run all of the rest of the games here. Cheatgirds is undecided yet, and WSU is on the offense this time around. Mr. Wario is not going to swap the penny this time. I think that's a pretty important note here.
30 seconds.
Cheese
before you
Grid is
attack.
actually going to land on Adam Warlock, which Adam Warlock's ultimate ability is pretty good. I think historically reviving your entire team in a hero-based shooter with a single press of a button at a range is pretty good. Forcing a second team fight when the other team might not be ready is pretty good. This onk, that's some disgusting onk there.
3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission.
And it looks like everyone's just going to throw all of their damage in immediately. DS Freak is already at 30, 40, 50% ult. And it looks like NICC hasn't even been close to building 50% ult. Looks like Friendship Fan's going to get up there, but so is DS Freak. And it looks like both sides are just sitting and waiting for the buttons to go out from everybody else. DS Freak is going to go in. DS Freak is in for the Jeff ult. Friendship Fan and Zora get grabbed, but that's both DPS, and NICC is not going to be able to pick off the Jeff in time to save them. So NICC just got traded 2 for 1, and NICC is going to lose first point and try and regroup, it appears. And Bitsy Robin actually walks out with an ultimate here. It's a pretty good state for WSU. NICC is going to have 5 minutes to contest, 5 minutes and 30 seconds to contest here. And Ratatosker is officially on the move here for NICC to defend. Looks like Blibblob is here and ready here to pop Invisol, and it also appears like Punisher ult is here too. WSU also has Bitsy Robin's ult, but I think the Punisher here is pretty good. Because Bitsy Robin is enticed to pop ult right now. Magneto goes down and immediately punishes Zora for trying to pop that. And it looks like WSUTech has built up all of their ults, and Mr.Wario and Blibblob have to last through them all with both of their ults. I think it's possible, but it's going to be a very difficult push. Mr.Wario manages to shield out. The Blade ult goes in, and it's just impossible for NICC to catch back up. Mr.Wario gets grabbed by the Jeff, and Jeff actually has 3 people and is just going to throw them all into the void and after waiting. That's a very good waste of time.
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
This Jeff has been on top of his game, especially with the waiting and stuff off to the side of ledges. I really like that. Really good idea.
Keep up the momentum.
And it looks like Cheesecurd has his ult build, so basically WSUTech has a second team on standby as long as the Atom doesn't get picked. Has to pick off this Atom before any kill is truly beneficial, or they have to stall out the death for an extended period of time. And it looks like Tebby is just going to get picked off, and NICC is going to try and make up for it, but that Blade is in the middle of their team and isn't getting told no. That Blade is seriously just going to stay in the middle of NICC, and NICC gets cleaned out. That Blade was pretty good, actually. That was some really good Blade gameplay. Looks like Blade, everyone's just going to push into spawn to try and get as much in as possible. And it looks like WSU manages to pick up this game too. And it looks like WSU manages to pull it out. Yes, Freak managing to get MVP, 100% fair. "26 kills on Jeff is pretty good, as we cut for just a second to get into the next round. pregame of WSU versus NICC. The map is Burning T'Challa for this round. NICC full stacking Widow just to show how much of a team they are still at. Their team psych has not been truly affected by WSU's win. Both ban Gambit, you kind of have to right now. Save on the Storm, ban on the Magneto, and NICC's just rolling pretty steadily into the same things. The S-Freak has gotten MVP twice and is showing us expert use of Jeff over the course of this game. I'm not entirely sure save on the Moon Knight for finger guns is absolute, or not for finger. Well, it is for finger. Save on the Moon Knights for finger guns. Ban on the Jeff from NICC. You know, we're just ready, right? We've seen the Jeff get MVP twice. We know the Jeff is a problem. We're gonna try and deal with the Jeff. WSU hovered Moon Knight for a second there. NICC is hovering Adam, because if NICC even won one of those team fights, they were gonna have to fight a second fight. And that is a truly big problem. No, save on the Invis Woman. I think the hover here is pretty self-explanatory. Invis Woman right now is insane. Very difficult to do damage through the Invis ult. And it looks like Strange is getting hovered by NICC, but Wolverine gets banned. Absolutely. WSUTech showed us expert use of Wolverine over the course of the past couple of games, and the real problem with the Wolverine was the fact that he was able to put out so much damage even when he kidnapped the tank. He was able to get the kill, where NICC showed us that Thor wasn't going to be able to finish the deal. NICC has to pick someone to save, and it looks like Cloak and Dagger is going to be that someone, just for NICC's heart. WSUTech is here. And we're about to see what ban they have ready. Strange is absolutely fair. I'm honestly a little bit surprised NICC didn't try and save Strange, but the ban on Strange is there.
Or villain, I'm not judging.
It looks like we're looking at a dive comp for NICC. WSUTech's going to go with that same very stiff combo that's going to be trying to stop the opponent from reaching into their team and push into the opposing team. Tebby hovered Groot for a second. Tebby might be hesitant to run dive. These Kurt's going to start with Angela this time around. Going to probably try and mirror NICC.
Before you attack, get ready.
It looks like both teams are going to see the other team, so both teams know what everyone else is running. Blibblob playing Jeff after seeing Jeff get MVP so often.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
The battle starts in 5, 4,
NICC confused right now.
2,
Not entirely sure if they're gonna go dive. It looks like a switch onto Emma. Emma's a good play here, and just enough defense here. Make up for Mr.Wario not gonna be there in the front lines as much. More in the enemy's midline. Like Tebby's immediately gonna start by the interaction, and both teams are back to the farming the ult charge. WSUTech gonna end up with more ult charge and the win on the team fight here. Mr.Wario is gonna have to try and regroup with the rest of his team. All of WSUTech is up in this area apparently, with the exception of one. Looks like NICC is gonna match him up top. This is really far away from the point. Looks like the Moon Knight Ankh is gonna get a ton of damage out on NICC. Finger Guns is there with ult, and it looks like the Angel is just gonna take Venom away. And it looks like Venom's gonna get picked off, and NICC is gonna be touching down on point. Heavy Heavy is solo pushing onto this objective here while all of everyone else is not on the point. Heavy manages to get picked off. Mr.Wario swapping off of Venom. Gonna try and see if he can change it up. Maybe get a little more of a pick here on Thor. WSUTech has built up 2 ultimates, and Northeast Iowa is still working on their first ults between the rest of them. Bunch of switching going in, and it looks like Wario is considering going up top. And the Moon Knight ult mixed with the Invis Woman push is going to grab Mr.Wario out from NICC team. Heavy's stuck at low health in the front of the enemy team, and we see Zora switch to Squirrel here, which is absolutely fair. That's a lot of damage to be putting into the enemy team. And it's there to probably make up for the lack of Moon Knight. Friendship Fan and Blibblob have ult. WSUTech has Bitsy Robin's ult. And it looks like we see Ultron ult. And Inviswoman ult is there to match. We see ZonedoutPiggy pop ult. We see Magneto ult go out. WSUTech has the ults to go blow for blow with an NICC. We know the Squirrel Stampede is here from Zora. And it looks like WSUTech... Oh, Squirrel Stampede does manage to grab someone in the middle of that. And it looks like Phoenix is going to grab the Squirrel Girl. And Tebby is also going to pop ult. Looks like Bliblorb, Tebby, and Mr.Wario are left on point here. Magneto is going to get picked off, and it looks like NICC manages to take the objective. That was a really good ult fight for NICC and North. Looks like NICC is going to get ready for the map to change here. NICC getting ready to stack the point here. WSUTech, they got into that brawl, and the rest of them, they were all separated, so they got picked off. So it looks like WSUTech's going to do their best to stay together. And Angel is going to start this by popping their ability, and the Moon Knight ult is going to go on and pick up 3. And it looks like Thor is going to try and grab some, but isn't going to get anything because he gets hoodwinked by Cloak. And it looks like Mr. Wario is the only one left on point, and NICC gets cleared off of the objective. WSUTech showing dominance on this objective, and that was a really good play by both teams on the last round. I'm glad NICC was able to touch down on this first point. NICC probably going to try up some different strategies. That last round did not work at all. Bliblorb swapping to the first time we get to see it. He's actually been working on this Deadpool just a little bit here.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
It looks like Friendship Fan switching. It looks like NICC is considering dive. Strongly considering dive, actually. Now, I don't know what the Emma is doing here, if NICC is considering to go all dive.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it? They say that music brings the world together.
And now, looking forward to this because it appears like NICC is just going to go with a different strategy. I'll probably try and get a jump on WSUTech. Cheese Curd is going Thing in here. We saw a Thing get queued last round, but wasn't entirely sold. Looks like Tebby is in on the objective where nobody else can see. Alone. Oh no, Mr. Wario is in now too, and it looks like NICC is going to try and touch back on the point, and they are diving one by one onto the enemy team, it appears. And NICC is just going to get grabbed off of a point. Bliblorb gets ult here. And it looks like both NICC and WSUTech are going to fight over this point directly as fast as possible. And we see Lartrox go out. Finger Guns also popped ult. Bliblorb also popped ult. And it looks like Mr. Wario finds the first pick of NICC's team. And it looks like Inviswoman ult goes out. Mr. Wario isn't able to grab anybody and bring them out. And it looks like NICC is just going to try their best to hold and regroup for the next part of the team fight. That Thing going in there is wild because it just singles someone out and he just ate up Mr. Wario. Looks like Zora also switches to support here, and we get a go out, and this thing is just going to go in and my god. That's whatever floats your boat here. And, you know, get quite a few kills. That thing is a great thing gameplay right now.
More than half of the mission area. Keep going.
And it looks like WSU is going to go completely unimpeded. Zora does pop ult here. Very interestingly, I don't understand the thought here. WSU has more than enough room to back up in the face of it. Like, Mr.Wario gets grabbed out by the Elsa Bloodstone here. And it looks like the Thor is ready to pop all. The Moon Knight goes in. And it looks like Wario is going to go in for this. And he is just not going to be able to see it. Robin and Spike Nito managed to get 2 kills, and Blibblob gets a revive. Kurt goes in with the clobber in time, and manages to pick up his double kill of choice. And Tebby manages to get grabbed at the end. Zora is touching on the objective, as the objective finally reaches overtime because there was progress. And NICC is not going to be able to touch down on point in time. NICC going 0-3 against WSUTech. Both teams did pretty decent tonight. I'm sure NICC has much to talk about after this game. You know, they were just able to outplay NICC for the time being, and NICC is trying their best to try a new strategy right at the end here. Fitzy Robin also did quite a bit of healing, which is pretty nice for both teams. And with that, I think we're gonna cut to the end of stream. Thank you all for watching.